Aloha, my loves, and welcome back. Today we have an easy DIY Christmas wreath, which will be red, white, and green. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. And if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because we would love for you to go on this journey with us. Now we're going to use this mesh ribbon from Michaels, and we're going to use two, and they were $12.99 each. We're going to roll it out and place it on our mat. Now, if you're going to use a cutting blade, you definitely need a mat so that you don't destroy the surface of whatever you have it laid on. We're going to cut our ribbon 18 inches. You can always make it longer or shorter, but definitely make sure if you use a blade that you have something down so you won't cut your surface. But you can use scissors too. You can measure it out, use scissors, or you don't even have to measure it out. I've seen people just go ahead and cut it. Just make sure the first one that you cut out, if that's the length that you want, then you go ahead and place the second one over top of that ribbon and go ahead and cut it with scissors. Now we're going to use this wreath that we got from Hobby Lobby. It was 24 inches and it was $12.99. We're going to go ahead and roll our mesh up together. And as you can see, we opened it up and we rolled it into itself. And then we're going to take two branches. You can either start on the inside or the outside. And we're going to open two branches, take our mesh, put it in between those two branches, and we're going to twist the branches twice. And then we're going to go ahead, move our wreath over, open our branches, and then we're going to grab some more mesh, and we're going to do the exact same thing. And we're going to roll it into itself, and then we'll go ahead and place it inside of our wreath. Now, I had started out with a wreath that I got from Michaels that I had from last year, and I don't know if it was a bad batch or what, but by the time I got all the way around, I had so many pine needles that I had to take it and go ahead and grab this Hobby Lobby wreath. So I don't know if that was a bad batch, and we'll see. But I think this is the second time I tried to use Michael's wreaths. So I think I'm just going to put them aside and maybe donate them. Unless you know there's a way to spray them. And I believe I did say this in my other video. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick with my Hobby Lobby wreaths. And I believe they did go up $1 for the 24-inch wreaths. But they are still a good buy and they are good wreaths. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to roll up our mesh ribbon and place it inside of our wreath. So when I first cut up all my mesh ribbon, I did have enough for the wreath that we were going to use for Michael's. But since we got a bigger wreath from Hobby Lobby, we're going to need more mesh ribbon. So since the colors were red and green going through the mesh ribbon, you can use any color you want. So I just grabbed red because that is what I had. And I got this mesh ribbon from the wreath shop. And believe it or not, it was $4.75. So if you're going to make a lot of wreaths, I would definitely recommend grabbing some mesh because they sell the same colors all year round. So if you want something for Christmas in March, you can get the colors. And it's called the Wreath Shop. And the wreath mesh was only $4.75. And we're just going to go ahead and add our red inside. We cut it down the exact same way. And we're just going to go ahead and mix it through the mesh ribbon that we already have on our wreath. Now, once we add all our mesh ribbon, we're going to take this beautiful red, white poinsettia, which is a glitter velvet. It's 15 inches with a jewel tip. We got this from Dave Christopher. They were $5.99. We're going to use 3. We're going to cut it down. So what we're going to do is place a lot of hot glue around the bottom of the flower. And this is where your mesh ribbon comes in handy, because once you place it down, that glue attached to the mesh ribbon and it stays on there. Now, if you make the tip long enough, the stem of the flower, you can always turn it over and wrap it around the metal frame. But you're definitely going to have to cut this down, because these were made to put in Christmas trees. So that's why they are 15 inches. And I think they're gorgeous for $5.99. And if you purchase these, just make sure you put a little hot glue on the jewel tips, because a couple of them did fall off during shipping, which was okay because we just added a little hot glue and added them back on. Now, these white glitter firm picks also came from Dave Christopher. They were $5.99. They're not really heavy glitter, but I just wanted to spray them down just a little anyway, because I got glitter everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one pick, and I'm going to cut it down, and then I'm going to slice it with my X-Acto knife, and I'm going to have several branches instead of one. So that's one good thing. When you get a pick like this, you can go ahead and separate it and use it throughout your wreath instead of putting it in full. Now, if this was a huge wreath, maybe a 32 or higher, you probably could have just went on ahead and it would have really stood out. But I think for a 24-inch, it just makes sense to cut them down. Plus, you get more of a pick doing it this way. And $5.99 was not a bad price. And Dave Christopher does have sales, so I would definitely recommend looking on his website. We got these bulbs from At Home. They were 50 in a pack for $15.98. We're going to take the tops off, add a little hot glue, put the tops back on. You do this because when you're making clusters, you don't want the bulbs to pop off. So once we have them on there, we're going to go ahead and get our wire. We got this floor wire from Dollar Tree, so definitely look out. Dollar Tree does have floor wire in green. Not all the time, but they have other colors too, so it really doesn't matter what color you use. We put our 3 bulbs on there, we bring them together, and then we go ahead and twist the wire around. Now, when you make clusters, you can make 3 bulbs, you can make up to 10, you can make as many as you want. Just be cautious on the wire. That's the only thing I can say in the bulb. So once you put that hot glue on there, you are definitely good to go. And if you hear the rooster, that's Fred Sanford. It's his job. It's early in the morning, and he's not going to stop until maybe 9 or 10 o'clock. So we're just going ahead and wrap that wire. Once we have that done, we're going to go ahead and put our picks in. And all I did was put the picks in between and use the branch wreaths to secure them. Now, if you want, you can add a little hot glue around the pick, then place it in between the branches to secure it, and then also just go ahead and flip it over and use the ending of it to wrap around the frame if it's long enough to do that. But if not, like I said, just add a little hot glue and wrap it around the branches and it will secure it. I do speed up my videos, and then I don't show you me doing the same thing over and over again. Once I show you how I put the mesh in the wreath, I show you a couple times, and then I just show you when it's finished. When I cut it, the mesh ribbon, I show you the same thing. I don't want to waste a half an hour or 40 minutes of you watching me roll it up, stick it in the branch. Your time is valuable, so I just want to speed it up. I think once I show you the basics of what I'm doing, you can go ahead and do it. But if you have questions, definitely leave me a comment and I will definitely answer you. Or if you need me to do repetition a little bit more, just let me know and I will do it. I just don't want to waste anyone's time. And as you can see, I did wrap the branch stems of those flowers around at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and add the clusters. You can put them on top. As you see, I'm going ahead, I'm going to place that on this side because I do like to have decor on the side as well as the top, because depending on where people place their wreaths, you want them to be able to see items all throughout the wreath and just not on the top. So that's why I put the items on the side. Once you put it inside of your wreath, your clusters, you just go ahead, wrap it around the frame, twist it, and then if it's long, you can cut it off. And then once I wrap it around, I go ahead and take a branch and wrap that branch around it. So just in case it's sticking up, you don't poke your fingers. This bulb I got from Hobby Lobby, and they were 12 in the pack, and they were $29.99. So that's why I said definitely don't buy anything out of Hobby Lobby until it goes on sale, even at 50%, because you save. That is really expensive for 12 bulbs, but I love those bulbs. I think they'll look great in a gingerbread wreath, which I am going to do. So I'm going to add a couple, and they had it in the green and they had it in the red. So I'm going to add a couple of the bulbs. I took Chanel stems and took it through the bulbs, wrapped it around, and that's what I'm using to attach it to the frame. And remember, you can still pop the top off and add a little hot glue. And you can always add a little hot glue on the back to secure everything, to make it look nice and neat. I decided to go ahead and add some more clusters. I wanted to add the green and white since we did red and white, just to add a little bit more green to our wreath, because this is supposed to be a red, green, and white wreath. So I just took some more of those bulbs and added it to our wreath, as you can see. And just like I said, when you take the wire, just make sure you cut it so that way it won't be sticking up and won't poke your fingers. I decided to go ahead and add this curly pick. We got these from Hobby Lobby, and they were $3.49, and we're going to put two in there. Hobby Lobby has changed their prices, so it's just like some things that were $2.99 are now $3.49. So we're going to do the exact same thing we did to the other pick. We're going to cut it down, add a little hot glue to that base, so when we wrap it inside the two branches, it'll stick to the branches. And then we're also going to go ahead, flip it over, and take the tip of it and wrap it around the frame. And then you just take one of those loose branches and wrap it around to cover it up. And once we have all our picks in, we are done with this wreath. We're going to go ahead and fluff it out, and then it's ready to be trimmed. If you need to trim any loose ends, check your back, and it's definitely ready for you to hang up or wrap up and give it as a gift or to sell it. Well, my love, that is the end of our green, white, and red Christmas wreath. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for stopping by and spending time with me. I know there are 1,000 things you could be doing, but you took time out of your day to spend it with me, and that is truly appreciated. If you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because we would love to have you here. And if you're returning, thank you for coming back to visit again. Have a blessed day. Remember, it costs nothing to be kind, and we will see you in our next video. Mahalo.